Welcome back to the Binge Boys podcast. I'm your host today, Logan Lewis, and I'm going solo today. We have some complications due to a crazy time. Work for me is absolutely insane, so I am having to do this on the fly. It's going to be a little shaky next couple of weeks because of that. So we're getting right into it. I wish I had the boys here with me, but Pearson's at the beach, and Zach, like I said, I had to do this on my own today. Didn't have much wiggle room at all. So this will probably be a quick episode. Nice little Monday, or I guess Tuesday programming for you. And but before we get into it, I want to just quickly remind everybody about all of the programming that we have going on. For those of you who don't know, on Friday, I started a brand new podcast. It's called Whatever I Want. Whatever I Want is hosted by me, by myself, and each episode is revolving around a guest. That guest could be anyone from an influencer to a celebrity, a corporate figure, family member, friend, you name it. There's nobody that I won't talk to, as y'all know. So, so new podcast, it's available wherever you consume the Binge Boys, on Apple and Spotify and whatever. First episode was with Jillian McClendon. She's a photographer in the Atlanta area, and we had a very great conversation about so many different things. It's a really good listen, so go check it out. Make sure you hit subscribe and all that jazz. Please, helps us out tremendously. Besides Whatever I Want, What Are We? A dating podcast hosted by myself and my really good friend Lindsay. We just published a new episode today talking about dating in the LGBTQ plus community. We had a couple of Lindsay's friends on as guests to talk about their experiences dating in the gay community. We had a really good conversation, and I learned a lot personally. I think it's worth a listen to if y'all are curious, or if you just, if that's what you're into, give it a listen. Again, Apple and Spotify, and please rate, review, subscribe, all of that jazz. Wherever you're, excuse me. You're getting this raw. This is like throwback to the first epi. This is right after work. It's late. So I've got to get this rolling. Let's see. Mind Your Banters, a new podcast coming from the Binge Media Network, hosted by Kaylee and her boyfriend Nathan, where they will discuss the difficult conversations in a comfortable setting. It's going to be really good. That's all I can say so far. I don't know much about it. Kaylee's got creative control. She's in charge of this. This is her baby. So, I can't wait till that launches. Be sure to follow us at binge__media on Instagram to get all of the postings whenever new episodes are available. You'll be able to see all of our content, get to know the people at Binge Media, and all of that jazz. Go ahead also and follow the Binge Boys podcast as well, at Binge Boys Podcast, at What Are We Podcast, and at Binge Media, like I said. Whatever I Want, that is at Logan, whatever Logan wants on Instagram. Follow us on all those platforms. We really appreciate the support. And make sure, again, Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and review. It helps us shoot to the top of the charts, and it's a big help to me. So thank you for paying attention to my programming notes, and I think we should get right into all of the good stuff. Not much happened this week. This is probably going to be, like I said, a very quick episode, maybe 20 minutes. I'm not upset about it, though. Quickie is always a good one. You can listen to this on your way to the store, rather on your hour-long commute to work in traffic that you hate and miss no traffic because of COVID, because no one was driving during COVID. But who knows? We might get back to that point. So yeah, those were my binge media updates and programming notes. Let's get right into the news stories of the week, which there are quite a few, but I will hit on them and give my opinion very quickly. Um, so it was announced last week that the United States government, specifically the Trump administration, uh, plans to look at banning TikTok and other Chinese-owned platforms. The app has exploded with a mix of fears and funny videos about this potential event. Um, India recently banned TikTok, where some of the platform's top stars live. And apparently, TikTok, being a Chinese social media app, they pose a quote threat to sovereignty and integrity. Um, yeah, so the United States uh, might ban this. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, quote, said, with respect to Chinese apps on people's cell phones, I can assure you the United States will get this one right. I don't want to get out in front of the president, but it's something that we are definitely looking at. So this is funny, but also sucky. I think I've gone on some TikTok rants recently and expressed my interest in the app and how much fun I have watching videos and making them. I don't do it seriously. I ain't shit on these apps, but I make them for fun, and I know people make almost like a living, not a living, but it's like a side hustle for some people, just like Vine got a lot of people famous, and TikTok is the same. We can't lose another short video app. We lost Vine. We gonna lose TikTok. What's next? That's how I feel. Um, so let's see what happens. This is a developing thing, but I'm sure there are bigger. Oh my god, dude, this yacht. Oh god, I got it out. Okay, hopefully not another one for a minute. Let's talk about the fact that Batwoman was recasted. Batwoman on the CW found its new Batwoman. She goes by the name of, I hope I don't butcher this, Javicia Leslie. She previously starred in God Friended Me on CBS, but she is set to debut the iconic role in January 2021. She's replacing Ruby Rose, who left the show after one season. A quote from Leslie, she says, quote, I am extremely proud to be the first Black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television, and as a bisexual woman, I am honored to join this groundbreaking show, which has such been such a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community. Leslie's iteration of Batwoman will center around a character named Ryan Wilder. According to Warner Bros., Ryan, who is a lesbian on the series, is described as a likable, messy, a little goofy, and untamed character. So she is nothing like Kate Kane, the woman who wore the bat suit before her, not your stereotypical all-American hero. The character is a former drug runner who now lives in a van. Very interesting. Batwoman will air Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern time when the show returns. Yeah, there's our new Black woman, or Batwoman. Jesus, I'm gonna get flamed for that. Wow, our new Black woman, our new Batwoman. That's hilarious. But yeah, good for her. I'm excited to see what she does with the role and the character. A few episodes ago, we were talking about what we're watching, and I brought up the fact that I'm watching Batwoman, and I stopped after 4 or 5, 6 episodes, maybe, because it is not gripping or entertaining at all. So, oh boy, take a shot every time I yawn. Why is it every time I do solo pods that I yawn, but when I do group ones, I don't? It's probably because I'm doing all the talking. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Hopefully, new actress, new direction with the show. So hopefully we get an update soon on Batwoman and its in its progress with Miss Leslie. Yesterday, Ubisoft, the game publisher company, announced formally Far Cry 6. It's one of Ubisoft's biggest franchises besides the Assassin's Creed game series. Ubisoft debuted the first trailer of Far Cry 6 as part of its Ubisoft Forward digital conference today, essentially their version of E3, because as we know, E3 got canceled because of COVID. It was a cinematic trailer, so obviously the graphics looked superb. But it showed a city in revolt under the regime of Anton Castillo, played by, and I'm going to totally butcher this, Giancarlo Esposito, which is best known as Gus, the villain from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. In Far Cry 6, players will control Danny Rojas, who is tasked with stopping Castillo's regime, just like its predecessor, Far Cry 5. The playable character will be customizable and will be played as either male or female. There you go. So Far Cry 6 is set to launch February 18th, 2021 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PC, and Google's Stadia cloud gaming service. Very exciting. I'm a big Far Cry guy. I really enjoy the Far Cry series, so I'm excited to get my hands on this. This will be one of the new games I get for the next gen console. So really excited about that. But moving on to the next announcement. John Carpenter, along with the cast, announced Halloween Kills. We knew this was coming. A sequel to the Halloween movie that came out a couple years ago. John Carpenter, the creator of the original Halloween movie, has promised that Halloween Kills will not disappoint slasher fans. He described the film as intense and brutal. The movie is something else, Carpenter said in the interview. It's a fun, intense, and brutal slasher movie times 100. Big time. It's huge. I've never seen anything like this. The kill count. Although, spoiler alert for the 2018 film, Michael Myers apparently got trapped in a burning house. The teaser that was just released the other day shows fire engines arriving on the scene. So obviously he escapes, and obviously Michael Myers will kill again. The sequel will see Jamie Lee Curtis reprise her role as Laurie Strode, alongside Judy Greer as Karen Nelson, Andy Matuszek as Allison Nelson, and James Jude Courtney and Nick Castle sharing the famous mask. The director of the film teased during a Twitter watch party for Halloween via the Blumhouse Twitter account that there are compared this to a massacre. So I'm very excited to see what goes down for this. I really enjoyed the Halloween that came out in 2018. So I'm really excited to see what goes on here. Big fan of the last one. Moving on to the next, kind of tying into the last story. Universal Pictures delays 4 horror movies, including Halloween. So Universal Pictures decides to delay the theatrical release of several of its upcoming horror films, including The Forever Purge, which sounds like another Purge sequel we don't need, the Candyman reboot, and some more. The coronavirus, another one bites the dust. Another 4 bite the dust. This is unfortunate. This sucks. 2020 is going to have a horrible summer movie season, and we're not going to have shit to talk about on here except for old movies that people have already seen, but that's okay. We watched Dallas Buyers Club, as y'all know. We really enjoyed it, and we will get to discussing that when we are all 3 together again. I know it's a drag, but we prefer to talk about movies together. At least ones that we haven't seen. It sounds totally hypocritical because I'm going to review Greyhound later, but as of right now, let's see. We've got the 5th film in the In the Purge franchise, Candyman, made by Jordan Peele. Those movies have been pushed back. Halloween got pushed back till October 2021, and Candyman is now set for release October 16th, 2020, and Forever Purge won't be hitting theaters until July 9th, 2021, almost a full year after its original release date. So we would have seen that Purge movie by now. You can only assume that the pandemic is because of is the cause of this. The Universal did not release a statement officially on what the reason was, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that it was because of the virus. Moving on. The Batman is getting an HBO Max tie-in show on HBO Max. So Fox's Gotham show. This is an article from AV Club, so I'm gonna read their stance on this. Fox's Gotham earned a reputation for being one of the most absurd TV shows on network, but it gained a lot of entertainment value. It was the best outside of the Batman movies, Batman thing we got, besides the Arkham Asylum video games. So Warner Brothers is taking another swing at the idea at cops trying to do their jobs in Gotham City. So HBO Max picked up the new series that will tie in with the upcoming Batman movie directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson. The show will be written by Boardwalk Empire's Terrace Winter, and Deadline says it will, quote, build upon the film's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City, and it will further explore the myriad complex characters of Gotham. Of course, that Gotham, the place, not Gotham, the show, because Deadline isn't sure if anyone from the movie will show up, kind of how the Avengers are always far too busy to appear on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So no one's really asking for this, but why are we getting another cop show? Give us something different. I'm into it. I mean, I'll watch it because it'll probably be good. But we don't need this. I think it's pretty safe to say that we do not need this. But whatever. What are you going to do? So I'm very intrigued to see information on that come out. This is kind of breaking news. Disney Plus is getting a new Star Wars animated spinoff in 2021. In an article from The Verge, Disney Plus is getting a new Star Wars series called Star Wars: The Bad Batch, which is set to debut on the streaming service in 2021. The new show is a spinoff of the recently concluded Clone Wars, which finished its run on Disney Plus this year. Like the Clone Wars, Rebels, and The Mandalorian, The Bad Batch is going to be executive produced by Dave Filoni, who has become one of the most instrumental pieces of Disney's upcoming Star Wars strategy, especially in the TV realm. The Bad Batch will focus on the squad of clone troopers, which is Clone Force 99, aka the Bad Batch, who were first introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch is an elite group of soldiers who possess unique skills from standard clones. One of them has enhanced eyesight. Another one is physically larger. You get the drill. The new series is set in the post-Clone War era, which would place it chronologically in between Clone Wars and Rebels. And it will focus on 4 clones as they take on daring mercenary missions. And they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose, following the fall of the Republic and rise of the Empire. While the Clone Wars have come to its conclusion, our partnership with the groundbreaking storytellers and artists at Lucasfilm Animation is only the beginning. We are thrilled to bring Dave Filoni's vision to life through the next adventures of the Bad Batch. That is a senior vice president of content at Disney Plus in the announcement of the series. Star Wars: The Bad Batch is set to debut on Disney Plus in 2021, but it's by no means the only Star Wars TV series in the works. Season 2 is of The Mandalorian is set to debut on Disney Plus this fall, with a third season already in development. The Diego Luna Red, y'all. The Diego Luna led Rogue One focused on Rebel spy Cassian Andor series is also coming, along with the Obi-Wan and a female-centric series coming from the showrunner of Netflix's Russian Doll. So yeah, a mouthful there. These guys weren't that interesting in my opinion. They were cool in the Clone Wars final season, but I don't know if it's something that I would give an entire series to. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it. But it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. Always down for more Star Wars, especially when movies, we're not sure what we're getting for movies in a while. So at least we know that we're going to get a couple Star Wars shows in the next couple of months, 6 months or so. We'll have Mandalorian 2 and this show as well. So we'll see. I'm excited. I assume there's a freaking fly in here, or a gnat or something small. I assume that this will air when The Mandalorian finishes, so I expect to see first season of this around February, maybe, just so that there's constantly a Star Wars presence on Disney Plus, which is a pretty good strategy. Hopefully Marvel's doing something similar. So yes, that's it for the quickies today. I'm going to review 2 pieces of cinema, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. The first one is a documentary film on Netflix called Athlete A. Athlete A is PG-13, an hour and 43 minutes, and it released June 24th, 2020. Athlete A follows the Indianapolis Star reporters that broke the story about U.S. gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar abuse and they hear from gymnasts like Maggie Nichols. So this is a documentary film set around the perverted doctor that is currently serving in, prison for inappropriately touching / raping several hundred women in the U.S. gymnastics, organization, which is pretty fucked up. And I knew that this happened. I knew this guy got arrested about a year or so ago. Maybe, time has flown by. It could have been a year. It could have been 5 years ago. All I know is that this POS is currently rotting in jail for the next 25 to life. So yeah, hundreds of women have come forward since about this man. You hate to see that, and I will never pretend to know what it's like to be in their shoes, but I can say that this dude definitely deserves to rot in jail. He doesn't deserve to get out in 25 years. I think they said something like 400, 500 people came forward total. And what's interesting about that is not only did Larry Nassar get investigated, the whole organization as a whole is getting investigated by the FBI because they turned a blind eye to a lot of this stuff. So not even just gymnasts, coaches, staff, a lot of people were touched by this guy, and not in a good way. So whoever's in charge of the why is it escaping me now? All of a sudden, just I can't think of it. USA Gymnastics. Whoever's in charge of there better step down if they haven't already. I forget if the documentary addressed that or not, but all I can tell you is this dude's in jail. It was really heartbreaking to see all these women being interviewed, reminiscing on their stories. I'm glad this piece of shit's in jail. I gave this documentary a 4 out of 5. It was very informative. It was a little long. I probably could have gotten a 5 out of 5 if it was like maybe an hour and 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes shorter. But it's long because there's a lot of interviews with gymnasts, and I can't discredit them that much for that. So 4 out of 5 for this documentary. Zach watched it too. I think he gave it also a 4 out of 5. Review is up on our Instagram now. So yeah, that's Athlete A for you. Definitely a good watch. Go educate yourself on the subject. It's heavy, but it's very good. Thank God that man's in jail. And moving on to the last little segment of the day. Greyhound. Greyhound is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 31 minutes. It's an action drama history. It was released July 10th, last Friday, 2020, on Apple TV Plus exclusively. This movie is directed by Aaron Schneider, and it stars Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Shue, Stephen Graham, and more. It's based on the novel The Good Shepherd, and it was written by Tom Hanks, which is really awesome. This movie is set in early World War II. An inexperienced U.S. Navy captain must lead an Allied convoy being stalked by Nazi U-boat wolf packs. Let's see here. I think this movie was pretty entertaining. I think initially I gave it a 3 out of 10, but I might, a 3 out of 5, but I might bump it up to a 4. Yawn incoming. Because it was a good movie. It was very well directed. The action scenes were pretty good. And the acting was great. You know, every Tom Hanks movie, you can just expect to have pretty stellar acting. Is my chest red? What the hell? All right, I don't know. It just looked red in the light. Maybe I am burnt. Who knows? Yeah, Tom Hanks, of course, is a stellar actor in this, as he is in everything. It didn't look like he half-assed it. Also, for, his, I don't know if this is his first screenplay. There's that damn gnat. There it is again. He did very good. Very good writing. There's a few cheesy lines here and there, but it wasn't bad. A lot of the supporting cast was like kind of weak. Didn't really make you feel for any of them. I couldn't tell you any of the characters' names, including yawn incoming, including Tom Hanks's character. Let's see. Captain Cross. See, they just called him Captain the entire movie. So I didn't know, they just called him Captain. Yeah, this was a good movie. I'm going to leave it at a 3 out of 5 now that I think about it more. But action was good. Really good length. Really enjoyed the length of this thing, only an hour and a half. Perfect length for a streaming movie. Tom Hanks did a great job. Only cons is cheesy writing here and there. Some of the CGI for some of the action scenes was a little obvious that it's like, oh, this obviously is fake. So in pieces it was patchy, and bad supporting characters, but other than that, this was a solid movie. I recommend watching it if you have Apple TV Plus. Don't go and subscribe to the service just to watch this movie. It's not worth it. But it was a good movie. If you have the service, definitely check it out. Tom Hanks, he kills everything he does. So this was to be expected here. But I was entertained. It flew by. Again, nice runtime. And yes. So there you have it. There's the review for Greyhound, and exclusively on Apple TV Plus. And that is it for episode 129 of the Binge Boys podcast. Another quick reminder, like I said at the top, follow the Binge Boys podcast on Instagram. That's where you get our episode postings, our reviews, our top 10s, announcements. All of that goes down on the Binge Boys podcast on Instagram. Follow myself, Logan Lewis 96, on Instagram as well as PKiller56 for Pearson and Zach McConnell for Zach McConnell. Go and hit up What Are We as well. That's What Are We podcast on Instagram. Whatever I Want, hit up Whatever Logan Wants on Instagram. And be on the lookout for Mind Your Banter's content coming soon. Again, check out Binge Media on Instagram. That's BINGE__media as the username for that account. That is where you'll find, again, it's almost like a hub. You'll find all of the posts for all of the accounts on Binge Media, which is awesome. It's a hub for everything that we do at Binge Media. Make sure you go to Apple Podcasts, scroll to the bottom, leave us a 5-star review, or 4-star, or a 3-star, preferably not 2 or 1, but a 5-star review, and leave a review. That is how we get noticed. That's how we shoot to the charts. That is how iTunes recognizes us. But if you don't listen on Apple Podcasts, that's fine. You can just go to www.itunes. I don't know the web URL, but go to Apple Podcasts on your desktop. You can do the same thing there as well. But if you don't do anything Apple, you're in luck because we're on Spotify as well. Just same usernames. Binge Boys Podcast. What are we? Whatever I want. And soon, Mind Your Banters. So be on the lookout for all that stuff. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, I apologize because of my distracting TV in the background, as well as my unfolded laundry on my bed and my hideous, sweaty, worked out face. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know every single time we upload. The YouTube account for the Binge Boys Podcast is no more. I changed everything to be Binge Media related, so we will be posting content for little things here and there for the other pods. As you guys know, we don't do video on those. That's okay. But we will do a little thing here and there for those other podcasts. Make sure you hit the little bell so you know when we upload. And please share our content with people. We have a passion for media. I love it with all of my heart. I wouldn't start all of these podcasts and just lose money every month running them if I didn't love it with all my heart. Please share with a friend. It would mean the world to me. It would mean the world to those at Binge Media. And I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and we will get to you next week. Thank you, everyone, so much. Bye.